Hey, this is Steli After with Closeo. Early this morning, I had a founder send me an email, and the question that he had was his company, his startup, is going through a big change, and they have to completely change the strategy in which they're trying to sell their product. Now, he has five salespeople that he needs to convince and sell on the idea of completely changing their approach to sales, completely changing their strategy in sales, and completely rethinking the way they think about the business. And he was asking me, Stelly, how do you lead a sales team in times of change? How can I make sure that my team is going to be committed? How can I make sure that my team is not going to waste time holding on to the old ways? How can I make sure that my team is going to execute on this completely and radically new approach of doing things? I thought you guys might benefit from the answer as well. So I thought, why not record my response rather than just emailing him? So here's what I think about this. Change is tough. And one of the reasons why startups are really hard is that a lot of times you'll have to change multiple times along the way until you figure it out. And even once you figured it out, quote unquote, you'll have to change again at some point as the world and your environment, your market changes. So the thing that makes this very tough is that a lot of times we as people, when we believe in a strategy, believe in a certain approach, believe in a particular, way of doing things, we buy into that thing emotionally. We completely buy into it, and we want it to be true. We're attaching ourselves to it, and we get attached to it. And then when you ask us to change that, people hold on to it because they're afraid of letting that go, because that meant that they were wrong all along, and that makes people feel disappointed. That makes people feel, a little insecure about what to expect next. And if you have to do that multiple times, what a lot of times happens in startups, eventually people start going the exact opposite route because they don't want to be disappointed again and again and again. They start becoming detached, they start becoming cynical, and no matter what idea you bring up, no matter what new strategy you bring up, they go, yeah, let's see if that's going to work out this time. I remember a month ago or 6 months ago, we were we were excited about this complete new strategy that would make this work, or this pivot, or whatever it was, and it didn't work out. So I'm not going to get emotionally invested in this thing. I'm not going to get excited. I'm going to keep my distance to this and kind of do as little as possible to support this because I don't want to be heartbroken again. That's what's fucking up startup teams and sales teams in startups, is that if you have to do a strategy change a couple of times, eventually people are going to get cynical. So here's what you need to do when you have to lead your sales team in times of change. Number one is you better be transparent so that people can follow the trail of thought and understand, why are we changing the strategy? Why are we stopping doing what we're doing? Why is what we're doing not working? And what was the thought process behind trying this new thing? If there's a disconnect between what's going on and how you're making decisions and what you want your team to execute on, that disconnect is going to disconnect people from executing well on it. So you want to make sure to get, what my man Hiten Shah calls problem alignment, right? You want to make sure that everybody understands what the problem is, everybody understands and agrees and is aligned on why what we're currently doing isn't working or working enough. And then you can think about the approach or the change that you want to come up with, either with the team organically or that you want to prescribe to the team. That's number one. Be transparent along the way as you're experimenting, as you're seeing the data, so that when you have to change, it's less of a shock to the system. People are more prepared, and people have context to understand that decision, so they're not questioning the decision. They're not surprised by the decision or shocked by it, but they could see it along the way, and they were part of influencing the change, hopefully. Now, that's number one. Number two, and step number two, which is the most important thing whenever you want your team to change what they're doing, is to lead that change from the front. You can't just come in, have a team meeting, a crisis meeting, tell your sales team, this is a complete new way I want you to do things, tell them exactly how you want them to change everything they're doing, and then you go back to your office, you lock the door, and you're answering emails, leaving them alone with the insurmountable task and the challenging task of figuring out this new thing that you probably haven't thought through well enough, and that inevitably will have challenges you haven't foreseen once they start tackling it. No, the way you do it is you leave your office and you lead the team from the front. That's also how you're going to get buy-in, because people are going to be like, do we really want to change everything we're doing? And then a week from now, maybe he's going to come back and change his mind again. So they're always going to just half-ass it until they truly sold on that you are sold on this. So when you want your sales team to completely change the direction of how they're doing things, show them. Don't tell them. Show them what you want them to do. Sit there in front of them. You make the first cold call. You send that first email. You make that first new pitch. You go and negotiate that new way of getting contracts. Whatever it is you want them to change, you go and do it first. You go and lead by example, not by words. And then, slowly but surely, when they're going to see you being serious about this and doing it yourself, they're going to follow a line, and they're going to follow you, and they're going to pick up the phone or send that email or do whatever you're doing. And now we are all in this together. So also, now you're not leaving them alone with a challenge of figuring things out, because if you have to go through some radical change in your sales team, chances are that that new approach, new strategy will have its new set of challenges. You can't just leave the team alone with that. You need to be there with them, figuring that new thing out. Until it's figured out, you need to immerse yourself into the sales team and lead from the front. And once you figure things out, even if it's not perfectly, but once you have kind of a good grasp on this new strategy, it's kind of working, now you can go back to running other parts of the business and empower your sales team to take it from there. But in the beginning, if you want them to follow you, if you want them to fully commit to this new strategy, you have to commit fully to it first, not just by words and lip service, but by example and by action. That's the simplest way to get your sales team to do any and every radical change in their approaches, to show them that you're willing to do it as well. And if they see you, they'll go, oh shit, I guess we're serious about this. And they'll follow along and they'll align with you. And they'll try their best to live up to that example and to make that new strategy a success. And if it fails, it doesn't fail, at least you're in the midst of it, so you know why it failed and you are a part of it. So now you don't have to wonder, once you leave your closed sales office, if you weren't part of it, why has this strategy failed? Can I believe my sales team when they say this isn't working? Or do I get the sense that they never really tried hard enough? All these kind of doubt, all these questions, this kind of dynamic where it's you versus them, and you tell them what to do, and then if they don't do it the way you wanted it, you're like upset about them, and you try to make that do it, and they're upset about you for like changing your mind, and all that bullshit dynamic is gone, because instead of there being two parties, you're now one team, and you're part of them. They're part of your new strategy, and you work together to figure it out. It's as simple as that. You want to lead your team, your sales team, in times of changes. Lead from the front, lead by example, do it yourself. Show them and display how it's done, and that you're fully committed. I guarantee you they'll follow you no matter what the strategy is. All right. So I want to hear from you. What were some examples of you leading a sales team in times of changes? What were some of the tactics that you used? The good, the bad. Just share your stories in the comments. Make sure to go to blog.close.io and subscribe to our blog so you get the 2 to 3 tactical blog posts that we write every single week. And then make sure to reach out to me, either if you want to share your story, an email, stelly@close.io. If you want to just publicly have a conversation, just tweet at me @Stelly, STLI, and say hi, and tell me what your thoughts are on how to lead a sales team in times of change.